Awesome morning to you all, for those here and for those online. You're welcome to Vatican Rhetor's Academy. Hi, I'm Coach Manny. And this series, we'll be looking at principles of selling. And like I told you, these principles are things you can apply not just in real estate, but anywhere else. Now, if you missed the first section or the first principle, which is sell to yourself first, you can go back on my YouTube and Facebook page to watch it after this live session. I made a 7 minutes video, complex video just for you. So you can go there, watch it. Emmanuel Ekene Josiah, that's my handle on YouTube and Facebook. Principles of selling. Principle number 2, sell yourself. That is mastering the art of self-persuasion. Mastering the art of self-presentation and persuading others. Mastering the art of self-presentation and persuading others. The foundation of our series today will be a quote by Siva Devaki. He said, sales is not about selling anymore, but about building trust and educating. Let me repeat it. Sales is not about selling anymore, but about building trust and educating. Now, on the course of this teaching today, we're going to be understanding more about this quote. What is selling yourself? Selling yourself means to present yourself skillfully in a way that persuades someone else of your values. Please remember to make a comment on this video so that I'll know that you are present, those online. Selling yourself means to present yourself skillfully in a way that persuades someone else of your values. And you can put it as honing the ability to showcase your values, that's your strengths, your skills, your unique qualities, in such a way that it's persuasive and compelling. Now, at the root cause of most underperforming salespeople is the inability to sell themselves effectively. If you are not able to sell yourself effectively, you will be very poor at sales. Every step in your career, it requires you to sell yourself. Sometimes we call it professional humble bragging. It's not actually bragging, but it is about you showing people your value and how it can be of benefit to them. Now, selling yourself is persuasion, not convincing. And I want you to understand the subtle difference between those two. When you try to convince someone of something, it means you're trying to make the person buy or do something. While persuading means to influence someone's decision. Let me give you an example. For example, I have someone wants to sell a red suit to me. Naturally, I don't like anything red. So I come to the market, I'm looking for a pair of blazers. And then you walk up to me, oh, this blazer will be good for you, buy it, I'll be like, no, I don't like red blazers. And you keep trying to convince me to make me buy it. And the response will be no. Now, most times when you try to convince people, you hit a brick wall. That's the truth. Most times when you try to convince people, you hit a brick wall, it becomes argumentative. But when you sell yourself, you see that you are going to influence the person's decision without making it look like you're selling to the person. Now, for example, I make a video on red blazers, why you should wear it. And I tell you that red blazers are good for the sun, that they help you. Let's say you are in a very cold place They help you to attract the heat from the sun. It makes you to stand out when you are giving a presentation. You know, I highlight some importance of red blazers without telling you to buy. Now, I have subtly implanted in your mind the need for a red blazer. So when you walk to the market, what are you looking for? A red blazer. That is selling yourself. And that way you persuade someone, you influence their decision without having to convince them. Why sell yourself? Why sell yourself? Number one, to attract potential clients. When you sell yourself, you are able to attract as opposed to chasing clients. Now, a lot of salespeople are chasing clients. I was speaking with someone 2 days ago, and he was like, there are no clients in Oka. And I was like, no, there are clients in Oka. And he was like, it's just that we can't find them. We need to chase them. I said, you don't need to chase them. You need to attract them. Now, in chasing clients, you are looking for them. In attracting them, you sit in one place and you pull them to you. So selling yourself will help you to attract clients instead of chasing them. Sell yourself will help you to make a positive and lasting impressions with clients. If you've not checked out my training on staying top of mind, you can go back on my profile and check it out. It is very, very important. When you sell yourself, first impression matters. So if you are able to make a first and lasting impression in the mind of that client, you will be able to make sales. Number three, why sell yourself? To earn the client's trust. Remember, sales is all about building trust. Without building trust, the client will not want to buy from you. So when you sell yourself, you are building the trust of the client. And we're going to be seeing how we do that in this teaching. And then number four, it says to gain and maintain relevance, staying top of the client's mind. When you sell yourself, you are able to gain and maintain relevance in the client's mind. Now, there is something I think it was Gary Keller. Yeah, Gary Keller said in this book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. He said every client has up to 5 people in their mind. Now, if you are to be a successful salesperson, you must be among the first 3 people in their mind. That means whenever they think of real estate, they should be able to think of you either first, second, or third. That is staying on top of the mind of clients. So when you sell yourself effectively, you will be able to be among the first 3 people that a client can call up. Now, at the end of this training, you will be able to know how to sell yourself more effectively. How to sell yourself? Selling yourself begins with your mindset, and then your appearance, and then your communication. Those are the 3 vital things you should look out for when you're selling yourself. Your mindset, your appearance, and then your communication. So we start with the mindset. So step 1, you must cultivate a success mindset. Now this is a whole long training on its own, cultivating a success mindset. And we're going to be doing that series in our upcoming trainings. But for today, I want to sum it up as believing in yourself. That is having confidence in your abilities. Now let me tell you, confidence is a game changer when you are meeting clients. Confidence is the game changer in success in life. Once you have confidence in yourself about anything, it is very rare for you to fail in it. So having or cultivating a success mindset is about believing in yourself, believing in your abilities, and having confidence in what you can do. So as a salesperson, it starts with your mindset. You must believe that you can sell to that caliber of client that you're expecting to sell to. So if your clients are worth 400 million, you must believe that you can sell to those kind of clients. That is cultivating a success mindset. Now, from the mindset, I want to talk about the appearance. In appearance, step 2, it says show up more. That is showing up. Show up more. Now, I want to tell you something. A lot of clients are looking for what you carry, but they don't know how to locate you. A lot of people want to buy what you are selling, but they cannot find you. So the first thing you need to do in selling to yourself is to make sure that you appear, that the clients can find you. You must make sure they can find you whether in their digital spaces or offline, that is physically. Now, you must show up every time, regularly. Now, there is this, what do we call it now? It was a study. They said that a client will trust you or will begin to know you when they've seen you for about 7 hours. It says that if you want to effectively sell to someone, when they begin to say they know you, is about 7 hours of interaction with you. Now, how do you generate 7 hours of interaction with a client? Now, let me shock you. Do you know that the first time you meet someone and then you just pitch to the person and tell the person, I want you to buy this. Do you know what it looks like? It looks like you just meet a lady the first time and you be like, hi, my name is Coach Manny and I would like to marry you. What happens? The lady will be like, they're insane, you know? That is what most of us do. The first time a client sees you, you're just selling. You must be able to register yourself in the mind of the client several times before you can start selling to that client. So show up more. Subtly plant yourself in people's mind by being online or offline. Show up in their events. When they have events, your prospects, show up in those events. You need to show up in areas where they are, maybe workshops, conferences where they attend, house events, online in their digital presence, in their digital spaces, you show up. Maybe on Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, deliver content. There are many people, like I said, who are looking to buy what you have. You just need to make yourself findable. Now, step 3, it says show up presentably. Show up presentably. That means show up in appearance presentably. How do you appear before clients? Whether it's online or offline. How? How do you appear before clients? Either offline or online. Do you appear like someone that is beggarly? Like someone that needs the money so much? How do you appear? What content do your clients see you delivering? Now you say you're in real estate, and then when your client comes into your digital space, they are seeing content that is promoting what they don't really like. How do you think that client will keep interacting with you? So you need to show up presentably in your dressing, and then when you meet your client in time, make sure you're on time. It shows that you are someone that is faithful when you come on time. If the client says, we're having this so time, and you come before or on that time, they know that you're someone that is faithful. That is how you build trust, how you start building trust with a client. So make sure that in dressing, you look like you are selling to the kind of clients you want to sell. Now it's two ways. I remember one time I was going to sell to someone in the main market and I dressed with all suit and all, and he was looking at me like that. That was a bad marketing for him because he wanted someone that dressed like him. And I didn't make that sell. That's the truth. So you must know how to appear for those kind of clients that are looking for you. Okay, sorry about that. I think the network is having a little issue. Okay, so we've talked about step 3, which is show up presentably. Step 4, you must exude confidence. Like I said, if there is any game changer in the game of success, in the game of sales, it is confidence. Let me say it again. If there is a game changer in the game of sales, it is confidence. That means you must believe in yourself. You must show up with charisma and with a good posture. You must have maximum composure. So that's what we say. Maximum composure. You must show up like a king, like royalty. You don't need to show up beggarly. I've said that. Show up royally in your posture, in how they see you, in your charisma, how you carry yourself, how you talk. Make sure you are giving them maximum composure. Okay? Then step 5, smile. Step 5, smile. There is something Dale Carnegie said in his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you've not read that book, please go back and read it after this live section. He said you must have a good time meeting people if others will have a good time meeting you. So if you want someone else to have a good time meeting you, you must have a good time meeting them. It's reciprocal. When you're meeting someone with a broad smile, what happens? They also tend to smile to you. But when you meet someone with a face that looks like you are coming back from a very stressful event, what happens? They just have this outlook like they don't want to meet you. They have that wall already set up. So when you meet people, make sure you meet them with a smile on your face. There is something I posted on Facebook. I said, someone without a smile should not open shop. That's the Chinese proverb. So if you don't have a smile, sometimes I go to buy from people, and when I approach the salespeople, maybe on the counters, and then they don't have a smile. So when you show up, make sure there is a smile on your face as you greet them. The third part of how to sell to yourself is communication. In communication, step 6. Sorry, I think we're having slow network due to the rain. Okay, let's continue. How to sell yourself. Step 6 says design your value proposition. Now we've spoken about this in the last training. So if you missed it, after now, just go back and look at that training again. But for the sake of this training, I want you to know something. In your value proposition, see yourself as a product. I know you don't want to, but just for the sake of your value proposition, see yourself as a product. What is the values in you as that product? Highlight those values. What is it that you offer that can benefit? Make sure you're not just saying, I have done this. Now, look at this. It says, I am a whatever. That means you're a realtor, billionaire realtor, you are this, whatever you want to call yourself. I am a dash, dash, dash. I have done so, 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 and so, and I can help you to do so, 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 and so. So, what you are or who you are, and then what you've done, what you've accomplished, what are the skill sets you have that you've helped others to, and then how can you use those skill sets to help the current client. That is how your value proposition should be. So you must design your value proposition, and like I said in the last training, script a dialogue with potential clients so that when you meet a client, it's easy for you to know where to start talking from. So that is design your value proposition. Step 7, listening. There is something Brian Tracy said. He says, telling is not selling. It is asking questions that is selling. Telling is not selling. What is it saying? Like, if in the whole of the communication between you and the client, you said 70% of everything that was said, then that client is not going to buy. In fact, that is a study. A study was done on that. And they said that if as a salesperson, during your interaction with a client, and the client is the one, and you are the one as a salesperson making 70% of the talking, then that client is not really interested. Is not going to buy from you. Selling is about meeting needs. And how can you meet a need when you don't listen? You won't know what this person needs until you listen. So it is very, very important that as a salesperson, you don't just come and talk and talk and talk. You listen. You listen to the person. That is why for the value proposition, I always encourage people to make it anything less than 3 minutes. 1 minute to 2 minutes is okay. Just something simple. I am this, I've done this, I've done that, or I do this and do that, and I can help you to do this. Then, you listen to the person to know the feedback from that client. Now, it's not about you, but it's about the client. Always know this. It is not about you. It is about the client. One of my mentors, Myron, is a great salesperson. You can check him out on YouTube. He said something. He said, if a client asks you up to 7 questions in a meet, it means that that client is interested. If he asks you up to 12 questions, it means he's going to buy. But if he asks you less than 5 questions, just know that he's not interested. So in selling, you should look out for making the client to be more involved. When the client is more involved, then you know the client is interested. Now, understand this, because a lot of people are in a rush to make sales. It's not every sales that you can close. It's not every client that is your client. Clients will always come and go. So don't make sales your whole focus. Sales should never be your focus. Your focus should be meeting people's needs. If that is your focus, then sales become an interaction between you and a client, where you are talking about the needs of the client and how you can help the client. Now, if you look at it in that perspective, you see that sales becomes something that is likable by everyone, right? So listen, you must listen when you are making a sale. Then step 8, that is how to sell yourself. Be more interested in helping the client than in making sales. I've already explained most of it in the previous one. Be more interested in helping the client than in making sales. Don't be in such a hurry to make sales. You must understand that the prospect may or may not buy. So there is no guarantee. Now see sales as having conversations with people and helping them to meet their needs. That's how sales should be. Now, when you look at that way, it looks admirable as a salesperson. Approach each client with a view of helping him or her to meet her need. Approach the client in that way, not as if you are selling a product, but you are helping the client to meet a need. Now, One way you can show a client that you are more interested in helping them is to mirror the client. That's a secret I'm going to share with you. When a client is talking, mirror the words the client is saying. Mirror those words, those particular phrases they use, mirror them. It will help you to speak the client's language. When a client feels like you're speaking their language, they feel like you are interested in what they are doing. So mirror the client. When the client is always saying premium, use premium. If it's saying investment, use investment. Don't come and change the language and use something else. Mirror the client. It will show that you are interested in what that client is saying. And also when you listen, it shows that you are interested. You are not just trying to pitch. That is step 8. In step 9, this is very, very important, and this is a secret. This is something that, in fact, we started from in the quotes we said by Siva Divaki. We say sales is not about selling anymore, but it's about building trust and educating. Step 9 says more educational content and less ads. Create more educational content and create lesser ads. My mentor Myron in sales, he said something, he said most of the sales he makes is from the educational content he puts out there. He was saying something, he said that in a month he makes 1 ad, while in a month he makes about 30 educational content. Now imagine the difference. Just 1 advertisement for a listing and then 30 educational content. Now what it does is that people that listen to you feel like you're an expert. Not feel, they know you're an expert in that thing. Now, when you want to buy something, I believe you like buying from people you believe are experts in that thing. So when you are always posting content, like I say, show up more. So showing up more is now showing up more in providing something helpful about that thing you're selling, not just selling it. So if I'm selling real estate, I should show up more in providing education on real estate, things that people want to know about real estate. If you show up more on it, people want to listen to you. Now, when you post an advert, people are easy to come into your page to look at that advert because you've already created a following. So this is how you persuade others as opposed to convincing them. When you create more educational content, through that educational content, you are influencing how others think. By the time you create an advert, they already want what you're selling. There is something Dale Carnegie said in How to Win Friends and Influence People. He said that the easiest way to influence people or to make people buy into something is to make them want it. It's not to sell it to them, but to make them want it. Make them want that thing you are selling. That means show them the values in those things so that at that point they are geared up and they want to buy that thing you are selling. You need to make them want what you are selling. Now, when you give people something free, they feel they owe you. I'll go back to my mentor. He said one of the biggest sales he made was after an educational content. Someone listened and even went through his book, and the book helped the person to close the sales of up to 80 million. And then when the person finished closing that sales, he came to him, called him on phone, and was like, "Oh, I enjoyed your content, and do you know that from what I read, from what I got, from what you said, I was able to make so and so amount. Now I want to just bless you. I feel like I owe you. Let me just give you something." He gave him up to $8 million. $8 million. Imagine how much it is in Nigeria. Now, without selling, So when you give out content free, people feel like they owe you. And it also makes you to stay on top of their mind. So whenever they think about that thing, they're always thinking of you. Give them something free, like I said, then show them that you are an expert in that field so that they know that they can trust you. So those are the ways you can sell yourself via communication. Remember, we started with mindset, then we said appearance, and then we talked about communication. So in communication, you must design your value proposition, your listing. You must be more interested in helping the client than in selling. And then you do more educational content and less advertisements. Now, there are certain skills you need to master in order to sell yourself effectively. These are skills that you need to develop in order to sell yourself. Number one is self-awareness. You must develop your self-awareness skills. That is getting to know yourself more, your strengths, your weaknesses, your weaknesses. You must get to know it more. So when you are able to understand it, you know what you bring to the table. You know the actual value you bring to the table. It will help your value proposition and it will help you to develop more confidence. Number two is confidence. So you must develop confidence in how you meet people, your handshake. You know, a lot of people, they shake you and you don't know that this person is shaking. So in your handshake, a client can know that you have confidence or not. In the way you look, in the way your eye movement is going, they can know that this person has confidence in the sound of your voice. So all of these are skills to master in order to show confidence. Like I said, in the game of sales, confidence is a game changer. Then number three, communication skills. You must learn how to articulate your ideas more. You must learn it, how to articulate your ideas more so that you can share with people because people want to know what you are sharing, but you must put it in such a way that others will understand. Then adaptability, you must be able to adapt yourself to various clients. You must be able to adapt yourself, your skills to various clients. It is very, very important when you're selling yourself because different clients, like they said, different strokes for different folks. You know, so when you meet different kinds of clients, there are ways you present yourself, both in appearance and in communication. Then lastly, in authenticity, that is skills to master authenticity. You must be genuine. You shouldn't appear like you are trying to fake it. You must be genuine in your presentation, in the values which you are offering. Once a client feels like you're faking it, then you lose that client because they cannot trust you. Remember, sales is about building trust. So if you cannot build that trust, where the client feels like you are being authentic and genuine, they will not trust you. So these are some of the skills you need to master. And how do you develop these skills? You can develop it through reading. I've shared 2 books in the course of this training that helped me develop this training too. Read Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a very interesting read. As a salesperson, in fact, as a person, you should read it. Not just for sales, for yourself. It's a very important book that will help you in life. And then secondly is this book by Gary Keller, that is The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Very, very interesting. If you are in real estate sales, read that book. So you can develop yourself through books, and you can also develop yourself through, or develop those skills through reflection. Through reflection. Reflection is very important, especially after meeting clients. Without proper reflection, you cannot improve yourself. Reflection is after a meet, you go back and ask yourself, what did I do good or what did I do well? And what did I do well? You know, you get to know the things you did well and the things you didn't do well in, and then how can I improve on them? That is self-reflection. Reflection helps you to increase your self-awareness, and it helps you to understand the various places you need to train yourself in or develop yourself in. And then lastly, to develop your skills, you practice. Now, if you do all of these and you don't practice, you'll still not develop, because practice is what makes perfect. So go to workshops, go to real estate trainings like this, come to trainings like this, meet people at events, talk with them. Don't be afraid. Don't let fear stop you from starting your sales journey. Meet people, talk to them. You will see that all those fears you have were just mirages. You know what a mirage is? Something that you think is there but it's not there. So all those fears you have are just mirages. So meet people, greet them, talk to them. Apply these things while you're meeting them. You see that you start developing. Your confidence will start increasing. So that is how you can develop some of the skills that will help you to sell yourself better. As we conclude, from the first training, we say that sales is a way of life. And the right approach to selling starts with convincing yourself of the value of what you are selling. Now, secondly, you need to now present yourself skillfully in order to earn the trust of the buyers and in order to influence or persuade them to buy. Very important. So I want to appreciate every one of you that joined us today. And remember, we are like at Vatican Realtors Academy. Vatican Garden Project is a real estate company that is all about developing and selling real estate properties. We have properties in Enugu, we have properties in Asaba, we have properties here in Oka, and we have properties in Owerri. So anywhere you're looking for properties that are in a secure location, fast developing areas, just hit us up. We have a website, vaticanprojects.com, or you can come on my Facebook and YouTube handles and drop me a message. Tell me what your interest is, and we will help you to buy. Remember, we're in the business of helping you secure that premium real estate, that investment you want. Now, for those of you online, please forward your questions on the comment section or send me a DM so that I will know what you want to know more about, the questions you have, and I will reply you in due course. Now, for those of us here, we're going to be taking questions, so we'll shut down now. Thank you, everyone.